Keeping Up with the Kardashians is coming to an end, so we're looking back at the history of the show and some of the family's most iconic moments. Hey guys, welcome back to another Shared News from Home. It's the end of an era, so we're taking a walk down Kardashian memory lane. But before we get into it, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring, and today I am joined by the wonderful, the amazing Jocelyn Davis.
Oh, so nice to be here. So nice to see you, and so nice to talk about one of my favorite TV families, the Kardashians.
We have a lot to talk about, so let's just dive right in with the crazy news of it all in case anybody has missed it. The Kardashians just announced they're going to be ending their iconic reality show with season 20. This is going to be airing in 2021. So don't panic, we still have season 19 coming this September. We've got 2 seasons left. That's it. I can't even believe it. The family announced the news with a heartfelt statement to fans on social media, saying in part, quote, "It is with heavy hearts that we say goodbye to Keeping Up with the Kardashians after what will be 14 years, 20 seasons, hundreds of episodes, and several spin-off shows. We've decided as a family to end this very special journey." Their statement continued, saying, "We are beyond grateful to all of you who have watched us for all these years, through the good times, the bad times, the happiness, the tears, and the many relationships and children." As for why they decided to end with season 20, a source told Entertainment Tonight, there was no big reason why the family decided to end the show. It was a mutual decision. The kids who started the show now have their own kids. It's getting very hard to film all together or get enough footage separately. The family is grateful and happy. And basically, you guys, there's no big drama. They just feel like it's time to end. So Jocelyn, I want to know, what do you think of this decision? Was it surprising? Do you think it was a smart move? Are you sad? How are you feeling about this?
You know, I gotta say, I wasn't wildly surprised, and I say that for a few reasons. First, just logistically, it would be kind of a nightmare to arrange shooting for not just the family, the core family members, the sisters. That's already a journey. But now when you have all of these other kids coming into play, all of the children of the girls, it's just a logistical nightmare, to be totally honest. But I also have to point out that I am a complete conspiracy theorist. And I think that this moment of saying goodbye is just going to make the upcoming reunion that I believe is happening in the next few years just that much more exciting, because absence makes the heart grow fonder. Don't you agree? And I think we need the Kardashians in our lives.
I totally agree. I was thinking about this when I was putting this together, and I remember when I was begging my mom for permission to watch the show in the beginning when no one knew what it was, and now I'm just so used to having them in my life on the TV, available 24/7. So it's definitely going to be strange. The one thing I will say is I saw some Twitter theories about the kids are so young right now. Kendall and Kylie were kids when this started, but they weren't toddlers. So right. Perhaps when everyone grows up a little and it gets a little easier, we'll get Kardashians 2.0. So maybe it's just to see you later. We'll see.
Yeah, and I'm just genuinely curious as to see what's going to happen over at E, because E has essentially become my go-to for all things Kardashian. Almost all of them have had some sort of spin-off program at one time or another. So what is going to fill those 24 hours of programming on the E network? I feel like you need a show, Fiona. I would follow it.
If anyone needs their own show, it's you.
LOL. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, before we create our own reality shows, let's go back to the history of their show a little bit, because obviously it's iconic. We all know it changed the landscape of pop culture forever. So let's go back into some of their facts here. Keeping Up with the Kardashians premiered on October 14th, 2007. Since then, as you mentioned, Jocelyn, there have been 12 spin-off series on E, including Kourtney and Khloe take Miami. Kourtney and Kim take New York. Kourtney and Khloe take Miami. The Hamptons, Khloe and Lamar. I mean, we're not going to name all of them because there's 100, but you guys get it. We have Mr. Ryan Seacrest to thank for the show's existence. Without Ryan, who knows what we all would have been doing for all of these years. He actually reflected on the show becoming a reality in a recent episode of Live with Kelly and Ryan, and he explained, quote, "It was about 14 and a half years ago. Chris was looking to do a series with the family. I, as a producer at the time, was looking for my first series to produce. I remember they were going to do a barbecue at their house, and she said, why don't you send a camera and shoot the barbecue?" Fun fact here, you guys, Ryan literally purchased his production company's first camera just to go shoot this barbecue. He went to Best Buy, literally took a trip to Best Buy to make this happen. He said there was yelling, there was laughter, there was hugs. It was all the ingredients to make a great show. We made a 7-minute tape out of it and showed that to E! Some executives at the time were hesitant about the project, but Ryan was so confident, he went straight to the head of the network and pitched the show. And literally weeks later, they were on the air. What a crazy journey.
Such an amazing story. And actually, a few years ago, on the show's 10-year anniversary, I went to a taping that had all the core family members and that was moderated by Ryan Seacrest. It was a Q&A. And it was just so fascinating to see their dynamic with him, because even though he's not on the show, he's such an important part of the show's inception and its journey. And you can just tell they all have a really warm relationship. So visionary at the least. I mean, he has really influenced TV with that show and entertainment in general.
Seriously, I mean, obviously Kris Jenner is the brilliant momager she is, but without Ryan Seacrest, we, wouldn't necessarily have had any of this. Chris and Ryan 1,000%. Are like the dream team. You guys, obviously the show and the family has gone through many evolutions right before our eyes. We're gonna take a look at some of the promo images from the early days compared to where they are now, because honestly, when I did this, it was pretty shocking. So I can't wait to see your reaction, Jocelyn. Okay, so obviously this is the iconic first season poster. Kim attached this with her goodbye post. Look at all of them. First of all, clearly Kim is the star of the show.
Oh, 1000% front and center. And I have to say that I personally think leopard print should be considered a neutral, so I support this. But look at the children. Look at Kylie and Kendall. They are literal children in this photo. It's unbelievable.
That's crazy. Oh my goodness.
Ooh,
okay,
things
so
are getting spicy.
This is season 2. Clearly a different vibe. We are already like spicing it right up. This is Kris at a club with her daughters. I feel like this is a really good like representation of the show. What do you think?
I have never seen this image before that I can recall, but Kris Jenner is an icon for just this photo alone. That's all I can say.
Oh, okay.
I feel like the transformation's happening.
It is, right? I mean, they're getting a little more high fashion. We're seeing just the girls. I mean, this isn't the best they've ever looked, but I agree with you. I'm seeing the transformation.
I don't know. I feel like Kim here is really starting to show the beginning of her, as you said, evolution as a fashionista. Look at that fringe bang. That is a statement right there.
I don't even remember her having bangs. What a look.
Me neither.
Okay, so jumping ahead a little bit, this is from season 6. We've got the whole gang. I actually really like this one. I think it's adorable. I go straight to Kendall and Kylie in this because they look so cute and young and not like supermodels.
No, they look like really adorable young teenagers. And I also have to point out that I remember this era in time in general, and everything they're wearing was incredibly stylish at the time. Like Kourtney's shoes.
Seriously.
Yes, please.
What a moment. Okay, so this one is season 7, and I think this is like an experimental one. This to me is clearly they did not take the photo shoot on the same day. Everyone was getting busy at this point.
Absolutely. And the thing that really sticks out to me is this is the first promo image we have seen with Lord Disick. And he's become such an integral part of the family. But when the show started, I can't recall whether or not I remember him. So this is a big, introduction moment.
You're right. This is like the beginning of the Scott being a permanent figure. I love it. All right, let's do the next one. Ooh.
Yep. We are here to stay.
This is season 11, and this feels pretty familiar. This, I would believe, is like current day Kardashian. They all look so fabulous. You can see they've got their fabulous glam teams locked in at this point.
Oh yeah, they all look like Disney villains, like in the best possible way. And it's obvious to me that Kylie has begun her personal transformation at this point. She's been, outspoken and honest about having a bit of plastic surgery done here and there. And I think the lip action is going full speed. They all look great. They look gorgeous.
Of course. Yes, as always. But I see what you're saying about those lips for sure. Okay, so this is season 15. So we're getting closer to modern day. I think they all look fabulous. I'm curious why everyone is in black except Kim, but I'm here for it still. I think it looks great.
Listen, at the end of the day, Kimberly, as I will call her, if we're having a formal moment, is kind of the star of the show, even to this day. So perhaps that's why she's wearing a white catsuit. But regardless, they just continue to Benjamin Button. And that's what this image is doing.
For sure. Especially Kris Jenner. Kris Jenner looks just as fabulous, if not more fabulous here than she did in that first image. This is an unpopular opinion perhaps, but I didn't love the Khloe blonde bob era. I like her with darker hair, but I still think they all they look like different people every time because they just keep getting more and more high fashion every time, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Okay, so this is our most recent promo image. It's season 18. And you guys, I think this one might be my favorite. I don't know. I just think it looks so they look like James Bond characters to me in this.
I was gonna say this looks like a cut and paste off of like a Vanity Fair cover. This looks like such an artistic image. But yet again, this is an obvious ode to the fact that they were definitely not all available on the same day. Like, I guarantee you these photos were all taken in separate months, but who cares? Because they all they look like paintings, quite frankly.
They seriously do. I'm curious what you think, Jocelyn. This is sort of like the closest up of all of their faces. Obviously, Kendall and Kylie just like grew up. Kim, I feel like over the years with her contour and her this and her that has like really, really evolved her look, her face. Kourtney to me looks the most similar to her original Kardashian self. I feel like she's sort of stayed true to her general bone structure, general glam look over all these years. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say the people who look most similar to when the show was on season 1 would be Kourtney and Khloe. Although, let's just be real, we live in Los Angeles. If I'm getting Botox, if everyone I know is getting filler, the whole Kardashian family is as well. And I think it's totally acceptable and fine to talk about. So
Same.
I'm sure they've done a few things here and there, but like it's working, so good for them.
I just feel like if you want to do something to your face, it's your face. So do whatever the heck you want to it, right? I mean, they look gorgeous no matter what. All right, moving on from their fashion and beauty because they're so glamorous. We could probably talk about that for a full hour. Let's talk about some major life events because there have been so many that have happened right before our eyes, especially with relationships on and off camera. It's been a roller coaster ride. I feel like let's start with the momager, the icon, the mastermind of it all, Kris Jenner, because she has been at least my favorite part of the show since the very, very early days. We watched her in the earlier days of the show really be a mom / manager, because Kendall and Kylie, as we pointed out, were kids. We watched them grow up. We, of course, watched her marriage end, and then we watched her find love again. And more recently, I really enjoyed watching her sort of heal her relationship with Caitlyn. I know you love Chris, Jocelyn. What are your thoughts on Chris's evolution?
Chris, if you are watching this, if you are looking for a mentee, someone to mold into your image, call me, girl, okay? Because I love what you have done. And I love the fact that she is a momager, but it's very obvious that at the end of the day, her main focus is loving her family. And I think she has good priorities, which is why, moving on to Kim, which is why we have the legend that is Kim Kardashian, who over the course of the series, we have seen just completely evolve. I mean, if you think about the beginning, the early days, lots of relationships happening. Ray J, Reggie Bush, her quick marriage to Chris Humphries, her longtime relationship and marriage to Kanye West. Of course, iconic TV weddings. I would say wedding, but it's been weddings. And then her journey to motherhood and having some challenges with pregnancy, and then obviously just her career exploding globally. It's been really fun to watch.
I honestly feel like Kim Kardashian is one of these people who I grew up in a way next to, and went from being like, LOL, Kim Kardashian, to like, oh, have you seen what Kim Kardashian's doing? Because she's like a super brilliant businesswoman. Like, to watch that, like, just personal evolution of being a fan of Kim's, I feel like is so fun. Moving on to Kourtney, who I know Kourtney is like controversial, but I have always loved Kourtney. She tells it like it is. She's hilarious. I feel like the biggest thing in terms of Kourtney's relationships, we have to talk about the Scott of it all, because between the show, the spin-off shows, the drama, the love, Scott Disick has gone from being like the most hated boyfriend to everyone's favorite character. It's been such a journey for the two of them. And of course, Kourtney becoming a mom was such a defining and important moment in her life. And she was the first one to become a mama. So I love Kourtney. And I really like that she's taken a stand in later days and said her relationships with her kids are more important than filming the show. Maybe that's controversial, but I love Kourtney.
I also want to point out, she was the first person I ever saw or knew of that pulled her own baby out of her vagina as she was giving birth. So, I mean, major credit for that history-making moment on television and otherwise. We got to talk about Khloe. Khloe is just such a gem. I think so many people out there are obsessed with her for a good reason. We've seen her go through so many highs and lows, especially in regards to, you know, her marriage to Lamar Odom and her relationship with Tristan, getting married, getting divorced, going on that journey, then becoming a mother, which we know was something she really, really always wanted. And then just a really unfortunate cheating scandal and drama that she went through very publicly with Tristan. And the thing I love most about her, besides her amazing denim and just her like hilarious personality, is how loving she is and how committed she is to her family and being a co-parent. And I love that she like really lives that out for her audience all the time. I think she needs to be protected at all costs. Okay.
I agree. Now, our last like relationship tracker to talk about would be Kylie, because let's face it, Kendall is like such a sly, secretive fox when it comes to her relationships. They've never really been a part of the show. She keeps that very private, as she should. Yeah. Kylie, this didn't even really play out exactly in front of our eyes either, but she did have that iconic secret, I want to say not so secret, because we definitely were speculating about it a little bit at the time, but like Kylie's secret pregnancy was truly an iconic move. She, of course, is a mom to Stormi, and they are so adorable together. And Rise and Shine became the moment we all didn't know we needed. But I love Kylie, and I think it's really adorable to see her being such an amazing mom. She really is. And she and Travis seem to have co-parenting locked and loaded. I'm still kind of rooting for Kylie and Travis. I don't know. Where do you land on the Kylie and Travis?
No, I'm rooting for them 100%, especially now that he has his own meal at McDonald's. I just think, why not stay together? At least for the nugget hookups. You know what I mean? That's what my thought is. Although she is a billionaire, so she probably doesn't need the hookup.
Okay, well, Kylie being a billionaire is the perfect segue because they are also, the show has never just been about their relationships. We have seen their relationships evolve in front of our eyes, but we've also seen their careers evolve. They are extremely smart businesswomen, and I think that that is really sort of a later in their fame. It's blossomed from just like being smart to being moguls. In the early days, we had Kris, the ultimate momager and businesswoman from day one. We don't really have to talk about that because we all know. But we had Kim, Kourtney, and Khloe. And do you remember Dash, Jocelyn?
I do.
When Dash was the thing?
I went to the store on Melrose here in West Hollywood. Absolutely. Absolutely. And at the time, it was like, oh, how cool. That's such a big undertaking, having your own store. And now looking back on it, and I'm like, LOL, compared to the stuff they're doing now.
Right. They also did, of course, they were the earliest versions of influencers ever. So there were product collabs. They had a line at Sears, which I remember was such a big thing, the Kardashian collection at Sears. They had a beauty line, not their current beauty line. I think it was Kardashian Beauty. It was at Ulta for a little while. It did not explode the way their products did today. Of course, they've all had 110,000 different perfumes, but let's kind of look at where they've evolved to, because I think that's what's really impressive. Kim is now the KKW Beauty mogul. I think she also just became a billionaire, or there's talk of her being a billionaire. Clearly,
she's
the beauty
on her way,
of it all,
if not already there. She's on her way.
Is doing really well. Then there's, of course, her Skims shapewear collection. And the craziest, most impressive thing to me is she's working to become a lawyer and fighting for criminal justice reform. I love that journey for Kim Kardashian. What about you?
She is a real life Elle Woods. And I love that. I think a lot of people feel very empowered by the fact that a beautiful, curvy, sexy woman who's a reality star also can have a very rich brain. And I think she's just such a great example in that way, specifically to people who want to make a change in their lives and who, want to be seen differently. And she's doing something really great with her voice. And I think that's so important.
All right. We also have Kourtney, who of course made a conscious effort to sort of branch out, find her own thing, create her own little world with Poosh. And I personally don't subscribe to Poosh. It's a little organic. It's a little much for me, but I think Kourtney's really found her stride with Poosh.
Yeah. Besides the name just not growing on me quite yet, Poosh. I don't know why. I love that she has something for herself, and she's never cared or seemed like she cares about maybe becoming a billionaire. I think for her, it's more about just believing in whatever it is that she's doing. Not to say the others don't, but I love that she has something for herself that I'm sure is still incredibly successful, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. Miss Khloe is the jeans icon of the group with Good American. I think everyone was like, oh, cool, she's selling jeans. And then the reviews started to come out and people were like, no, these are really good jeans. And
amazing.
I think that's super cool, right?
I agree. And Khloe's been really fantastic with this line and this collection of just making clothes that actually fit women's bodies with different curves. Very size inclusive, and just a lot of diversity of products. They even have really great swimwear, by the way.
Oh my God, look at that. The more you know. Moving on to our youngest sisters, we've got Kendall and Kylie. So Kylie, I feel like we all know her career. She's the billionaire, or Forbes kind of disputed that, but whatever. She's a billionaire in my head. Kylie Cosmetics founder. The lip kits took over the world. They were an idea that she had, that she took her own money, that she made, put it into this business. And I think her journey is truly inspirational to young people everywhere with dreams. And then we've got Kendall, who does the least Kendall like created herself products, but the most like legitimate fashion campaign career out of the family. She's a supermodel. The two of them I'm very impressed with. What about you?
Absolutely, because I think there are a lot of young people in our world, not reality stars, just in general, who grow up in successful families with a lot of money and resources and trust funds who never lift a finger. And I think it's been the absolute opposite that we've seen from every single member of this family. And I have a lot of respect for people who are willing to put in hard work. They all deserve the success they have.
Okay, you guys, their life in the public eye is clearly not going to end with the show ending. Thank goodness for streaming services. We can always go back and watch the show. We, of course, are going to see paparazzi pictures, Instagrams, TikToks, their blogs from them until the end of times. But for now, since we are feeling sentimental, we each went ahead and picked some of our favorite iconic moments from the series, and we're going to relive them with you guys right now. Jocelyn, why don't you kick us off with this first clip?
Okay, it really seems fitting to kick off this section of the show with two words, and they are Todd Cranes. If you're a diehard fan of the Kardashians franchise in general, you absolutely know what I'm talking about. But for people who are a little bit confused, before I show you the clip, let me just give you a little bit of information. This is a long time ongoing inside joke in the family where Scott Disick prank calls Kris Jenner endlessly, pretending to be a long lost family member, Todd Cranes. And of course, as you would imagine, eventually Todd Cranes himself surfaces. Check it out.
We need to call right now.
Hello?
Auntie Kris, it's me. It's Todd Cranes. Where are you?
Stop calling this number.
Let's do a Todd Cranes prank. Come on, Todd Cranes it up.
It's me. It's Todd Cranes.
Oh, it's so funny. Oh my gosh. So that was obviously the portion that I mentioned where Scott constantly over seasons prank calls Kris Jenner, which never gets old. But then, like I said, eventually they got the real Todd Cranes. And here's that clip.
Surprise! Auntie Kris, it's me, Todd Cranes. It's me. It's Todd Cranes.
Oh my gosh, I love it. For as crazy as Scott is, he just wins me over in moments like that.
Same. And I love Kris. I love that she just rolls with it. She was like so ready to laugh at the whole situation. Oh my goodness. Okay, another iconic moment, you guys. This one, honestly, I don't even know if I'm ready to relive. Kim loses her diamond earring in the ocean, and it is so dramatic. It is so over the top. And really, the only reason I wanted to include it was because it's Kourtney's, I think, most iconic line. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Let's take a look.
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. My diamond earring came up in the ocean. My diamond earring's gone. And there's people that are dying.
Oh my gosh.
my
Also, did you catch a little glimpse of Kylie Jenner in the ocean swimming next to Kim? I was like, who is that person? Oh my gosh.
Who's that young
Yeah.
child?
Fiona,
Oh my
people are
god, this
dying.
one's too good.
Get a grip.
Deadpan, ready to go. Not even a thought crossed her mind. Just Kim, there's people that are dying. In case you guys didn't remember this part, the earring was found. So
Yeah.
I didn't remember that. I just remembered
And it
the
was-
whole drama of it all.
It was also very, very expensive, to give some credit. It was, I think, like $1 million. Probably I'm overstepping there, but whatever. Another moment that has also made a massive resurgence on TikTok is the purse fight heard around the world. Check it out.
Beverly Hills to North Hollywood. Kourtney and I are strong queens, and we don't deal with the princess. She's a weak duck.
No, but also, don't be rude. Are you kidding me?
my gosh, it stresses me out watching that.
They get physical with each other.
I
Oh
know.
my
I
God.
feel like Kim could have gone to jail. She could have been charged for that activity. But as someone who has a sister, and maybe you relate to this because you also have a sister, the only person in my life that I've probably physically assaulted is her. When we were kids, we used to just get in fights, you know, not adults like they are.
You know
in
what's
the
so
video.
funny? My sister and I couldn't even, because she's always been so much stronger than me. It would just be cruel. So, but I do relate. Of course, you bicker with your sister. The only person you're going to forgive smacking you with a purse is your sister.
Of
If you guys
course,
haven't watched the Jonas Brothers recreate that moment on TikTok, you really should. Another popular TikTok moment, an audio, I guess, on TikTok that's been used by everyone this quarantine is Courtney creating her own phrase. Check this one out.
So are we cool? Like, are we in agreement?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I have to go.
What the heck is A, B, C, D, E, F, G mean?
It's just a phrase I like to use. That means
Is that a real
the
phrase?
conversation is over.
I
not a
have been
phrase.
using this for weeks. It is my all-time new favorite thing.
I forgot about how much I loved this, but I absolutely plan to integrate this into my conversation with my husband tonight. And he's going to be like, first you call me cute jeans every day, and now it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever. I could go on and on about that one forever, but this is a Chloe and Chris special. Do you guys remember when the two of them decided to toilet for Kim's house?
We could TP her house or escort her. So let's TP her house.
TP your house. What's going on in this world? It's going to be amazing.
007.
What's going on in this world? Oh my God. She's too much. She really is.
Oh, I love it.
All right, moving on from one of my favorite Chris moments, which is happy and hilarious, to a more sad moment, you guys. This we had to include because this is the moment that led to the iconic Kim Kardashian crying meme. You definitely know what I'm talking about. You've probably used it. Let's just pull up the heartstrings for a second and watch that little emotional scene.
Time. You know, I wasted everyone's money. I wasted everyone's everything, and I feel bad. You don't think I feel bad? At 30 years old, I thought I'd be married with kids, and I'm not. And I failed at this, and you think that I don't feel bad?
Oh, I feel bad for her in that one. Oh
I
my
feel
gosh.
bad.
She's
So
been through
sad.
it. She really has. But something that will turn around any sadness that you all are feeling watching this is the time that Scott became a literal lord.
I dub thee Lord of the Manor. Please rise, Scott, Lord of the Manor.
I'm feeling royal.
So true random.
I
So
literally
random.
had kind of forgotten that he actually, Lord Disick is not just like a joke. That is something he really, really made happen. Oh man,
Exactly.
okay. Last but not least, you guys, it was so hard to pick these. There are so many we could have chosen from, but it felt like it would have been criminal not to include this one. It is a trademark Kim Kardashian moment. I'm not even gonna say what it is. Let's just roll the clip.
Your sister's going to jail. Have a little compassion.
Kim, would you stop taking pictures of yourself? Your sister's going to jail.
Chloe's gone.
Here, Kim, this one.
I feel like I'm gonna barf.
Good, throw up.
Oh my God. I mean, she went on to publish a book full of selfies, so I guess it all makes sense.
You know, I actually had forgotten that Chloe was sentenced, I think, to 30 days in prison. She spent a whopping 3 hours there. But I mean, from that clip, you would have thought she was going to meet Santa Claus or something. And that's why I love this family, because they're like the glass is half full type people, even on their way to prison. And I really can appreciate that.
Oh my goodness, same. We could go on and on about the Kardashians. We could probably just start the show over and react to it for hours and hours and hours and have a great time. But of course we can't do that, you guys. So that is everything we have to share with you Kardashian related for now. We of course want to know your thoughts on the show ending and your favorite moments from the family, or if we forgot to include anything and you're like, what the heck, that was the most iconic moment of all time, let us know down in the comments, because I'm sure we did miss a few. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring, and you can follow me on socials at Fiona Zaring. And Jocelyn, where can the people find you?
Oh, too many places, but at Jocelyn Davis, come hang out with me, please.
All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.